They say the more people you know, the richer your life becomes. They say wide circles mean warmth, safety, belonging, but some lives grow quieter as they grow deeper. Some people don't expand outward, they condense inward. You've noticed? A shrinking circle, fewer names, fewer voices, and yet, not emptiness, not loneliness in the way the world assumes. Why does this choice feel misunderstood? Why is a small circle often mistaken for damage, fear, or emotional distance? And what if it's not a loss at all, but a form of protection? This reflection explores the psychology behind people who keep their circle very small, not as a flaw, but as a language of experience. Let's begin. At some point, you stop counting people, not out of bitterness, not because something broke, but because something noticed. You notice how certain conversations leave a residue in the body, a tightening, a quiet fatigue that lingers long after the words end. You begin to sense that not every presence is neutral. Some require performance, some demand explanation, some arrive with expectations disguised as care, and slowly, the circle narrows, not dramatically, not with announcements or exits, just a subtle pulling inward, like a tide learning its own rhythm. Fewer people means fewer interruptions to your inner weather, fewer adjustments, fewer emotional negotiations. It isn't isolation, it's calibration, a nervous system choosing conditions where it can finally rest. The instinct to keep a small circle rarely appears without history. It forms quietly, shaped by moments that taught caution before trust. Maybe the connection once felt unpredictable, warm one day, absent the next. Maybe closeness required vigilance, reading moods, adjusting tone, staying alert. Or maybe being open was met with misunderstanding, dismissal, or silence. Over time, something learns, not consciously, but deeply. The body remembers what the mind tried to explain away. It remembers the cost of giving too much too early, the erosion that happens when boundaries are thin. So the circle becomes selective, not because connection is unwanted, but because it must feel steady to be safe. What looks like distance is often memory choosing protection. Long before the mind names a reason, the body decides what it can hold. Every interaction leaves a trace. Some settle gently, like sediment at the bottom of a river. Others agitate the current, stirring old silt into motion. For people who keep their circle small, the nervous system is often finely tuned. It notices volume where others hear background noise. It senses tension before words form. Too many connections don't just feel busy, they feel loud inside the chest. This isn't preference alone, it's regulation. The body learns which environments keep the pulse steady, which voices allow breath to deepen, which spaces don't demand vigilance. So fewer people become a way to stay balanced, not emotionally distant, but emotionally intact, a system honoring its limits without needing permission. Even when the circle feels right, doubt sometimes whispers. A question forms quietly. Is something wrong with me? The world praises openness, availability, endless social ease. So choosing fewer can feel like standing slightly out of frame, watching others gather, Wondering if restraint will be misread as coldness, there is often a tug inside, a wish to belong, and an equally strong need to remain undisturbed. This tension isn't visible. From the outside, it looks like confidence. From the inside, it feels like careful negotiation. How much closeness is nourishing? How much becomes too much? Keeping a small circle doesn't erase longing. It simply asks that connection come without self-erasure. There comes a quiet moment when something changes. Not suddenly, but unmistakably. Connection stops being measured by how many names fill a room. It begins to be felt in how deeply one presence lands. A single conversation that doesn't drain. A silence that doesn't need filling. A bond that doesn't require explanation. For people who keep their circle small, meaning replaces momentum. Depth replaces speed. They are no longer trying to be known by many. They are allowing themselves to be understood by a few. This shift isn't dramatic. It's subtle, like a river changing course underground. What once felt like loss reveals itself as alignment. Not less life, but a life with less noise and more truth. There is a quiet myth that lingers in the background, that a full life must look crowded, that worth is proven through invitations, messages, constant contact. So when a circle stays small, assumptions rush in, that something is missing, that something went wrong. But this myth ignores a deeper truth. Not all connections are nourished. Some simply consume. For those who choose fewer people, absence is not emptiness. It is space reclaimed, room for thoughts to finish their sentences, for emotions to settle instead of scatter. Living outside the social myth requires a steady inner compass, one that values presence over performance, resonance over recognition. It is not rebellion, it is discernment, a quiet refusal to confuse noise with belonging. When the circle is small, something else grows. Not louder, but steadier. There is a sense of being held without being watched, of connection that doesn't lean on constant proof. Fulfillment arrives quietly here, in reliability, in knowing who will answer without urgency, in relationships that don't need maintenance through performance, that a small circle holds weight. Each bond carries history, texture, context. There is less explaining, less translating yourself into something easier to digest. This kind of fulfillment doesn't announce itself. It doesn't sparkle. It settles, like warmth that stays after the fire has dimmed. What emerges is not isolation, but a calm confidence in where energy belongs, a life that feels internally consistent. When the noise fades, something honest remains. Not excitement, not constant affirmation, but steadiness. A small circle leaves room for inner alignment, for thoughts to rise without interruption, for feelings to move at their own pace. Here, connection is no longer a defense against loneliness. It becomes a choice, deliberate, grounded, unforced. What once looked like withdrawal reveals itself as clarity, an understanding that not every door must stay open for the house to feel warm. Keeping a small circle is not about closing off the world. It's about choosing where to soften, where to be unguarded without consequence. And when that choice is honored, Life stops asking you to stretch beyond yourself. It finally meets you where you are. Asterisk if parts of this reflection felt familiar. If something quiet inside you softened as you listened, know that you are not alone in this way of being. There are many who move through life with fewer connections, not because they lack depth, but because they protect it. If you'd like to stay connected, this channel is a space where we explore the quieter corners of the human experience, without judgment, without urgency. You're welcome to share your thoughts in the comments, only if it feels right. Your words may help someone else feel less alone. Take care of yourself. You deserve gentleness.